Alright, there we are. Greetings, humans, greetings, and welcome back to another fun-filled episode. We're here, 29-year, would you believe it or not, people, veteran of the woods. That's where bears live. Yes, indeed, people. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving out there. But it's done. It's over with. We are finished with it. It is straight on to Christmas. People, you only have 30 more shopping days left to go before the big day. Unless you celebrate Kwanzaa, then it's a couple days afterwards, or Hanukkah is a couple days before, or something like that. But no, we here celebrate Christmas, aka Bearsmas, out here. So I hope everyone's enjoyed. In fact, Bear's got a little full tummy right here with what you people would call leftovers. Bear just calls. The trash man hasn't quite picked up the trash just yet, so it's still getting a little funky out there, but not too funky. You don't want to. When you're pro tip, people, if you're digging through the trash to go find food, you want to make sure it's funky, but not too funky out there, people. Not too funky at all. Yes, indeed. All right. Well, speaking of funkiness out here, Beer's got some great stories for you, including a Christmas. I don't know what the heck is going on here, Beer. A Thanksgiving story for you people. A little belated here, but let's go ahead, jump right on into it. Yes, indeed, for you good people. Let's do it. Let's jump right on in because we've got from the New York Post out here. Oh, let me grab the chat out here. There we are. Hello, Amy. Great to see you as well here. Great to see you as well. Anywho, Fugitive Turkey, Turkels, evades local authorities and unites a New Jersey town. He is a gangster, people. Yes, indeed. Brooke Cato from the New York Post. There is, well, that's not actually Turkels, but a representation of Turkels. I guess, we'll talk about a little bit here, just a little bit, the actor strike and the digital recreations of dead actors out there to be put into new movies. I'm wondering if one of these days they're just gonna, have AI turkeys, AI bears, possibly. You never know, people. You never know. In a quaint New Jersey town, one butterball united locals after repeatedly slipping through the animal control's fingers. But the notorious West Orange, New Jersey turkey, lovingly named Turkels. Turkels? Where do you get Turkels from? Not really sure. Must be a New Jersey thing. Was finally captured Tuesday after a week-long goose chase, devastating the Fowls fan club. Wow, they've got a way with words out there. Should it be a weeks-long turkey chase? Something along those lines. Anyways, the feathered fugitive. They are just getting paid by the puns out here, evidently. The feathered fugitive united the town, becoming the one thing that, quote, everyone could agree on, said resident Gia Garcia. Instead of arguing about politics, everyone was unanimously invested in the well-being of turtles. Gosh dang it, where is everyone and their investment in beer out here? Beer should change his name to Beerkles? Burkles? We'll go with Burkles out here. Kind of sounds like Urkel, doesn't it? I don't want to be confused with Urkel. That'd be kind of odd. Anyhow, the misbehaved bird was championed by locals who posted sightings of the elusive bird on social media and threw him a, quote, hometown hero celebration to fundraise for the wildlife conservation charity. Where is Bear's hometown hero? I mean, sure, he digs through the trash and, absconds the neighbor's mail, thinking that it's home delivery of salmon. Turns out it's just comic books. You can't really eat comic books, people. Believe me, Beer's tried. The misbehaved bird. Oh, we already read that. I miss him a lot, said Garcia, the owner of Willow and Olivia Desert Cafe, or excuse me, Dessert Cafe. I guess you could have a desert cafe. Told The Guardian, quote, "I'll miss the daily reports on his sightings. I look forward to getting updates about him every day." Yes, indeed. There is poor Turkels out there being harassed by the fuzz. So there you go. The 3-foot gobbler became a local celebrity after successfully escaping the grasp of the animal authorities, enduring a tranquilizer dart hit straight to the breast. Ow! The boob? Or just the breast? Dangling amongst its plumes, while on the run for weeks. Bears had that as well. You know, they try to tranquilize bear. Runs off into the woods and, just wakes up drooling all over the place. It's a little fun. He even survived being struck by a vehicle, emerging from the accident unscathed. He is like the Chuck Norris of turkeys out here. Let's see. He is resilient. That's true. Garcia told The Guardian, to see a turkey actively show a type of protective nature for that patch of land, and for him to walk around with a trank dart in him. I mean, that's bad arse, he says. Bad arse. When turkeys terrorize communities. Well, wait a minute. Hold on now. Look at the human slant here. When turkeys terrorize communities. Wait a minute. The turkeys lived there first. They were native creatures there. It is the people that are terrorizing the turkeys, putting in roads, shooting them. You know, there's a whole holiday of just eating turkeys. I mean, how many beer holidays do they have of just eating people? Well, I mean, there's like 3 of them, but let's not get into that. When turkeys terrorize communities, trespassing on people's front lawns and impacting traffic, state officials step in, and there you go. There is the state bringing down the man here, or the turkey in this case. Is that why turkey makes you sleepy? Amy says. The trank darts. It could be. It could be the trank dart leftover serum in there that causes everybody to go sleepy. Actually, Bear's a little sleepy. He had a little bit of leftovers here, so he is getting a little bleary-eyed here. Bleary-eyed. Thank you, Amy. By the way, checked the email over at the Proton, so sent Amy a response. So go check your email, Amy. Thank you very much. Celebrate our hometown hero, Turkels. Look at there. He's got very buff arms. Not really sure what's going on there. And of course, a whole Maoist background there. Not looking pretty good. But hey, listen, it's New Jersey. What do you expect? Turkels for president. I don't know about that. I don't know. Il Trumpo might have a word or two about that. I'm not sure if Brandon would actually pardon Turkels if he knew that he was being campaigned against by Turkels. That's probably not the case out there. Hi Melissa, how are you? Hope everyone is well. Enjoying seeing everybody out there at the auction last night. Fun stuff. Which, by the way, Amy got some nice stuff there from Weldon. I was like, I could almost bid on it. And Amy bid it, and it's like, okay. I'm not going to outbid Amy here for crying out loud. Ay. Let's see. She says, thanks, Beer. My phone doesn't send me email notifications for some reason. I'll go check it. Don't worry, Beer. Beer is not that good about checking the Proton mail. Although it is in the description now. So if you want to contact Bear, you can do it through the Proton link there. I probably will try and check it every week or something like that. I just hardly, kind of like you, it doesn't come up on the, I gotta go through the web page there. So, anyhow, let's get back to Turkels. Turkels was particularly hard to corral because he, quote, tended to fly. Really? More than normal wild turkeys, the state director of Wildlife Service says. Some locals, however, are convinced that this isn't goodbye, just a see you later, Turkels was allegedly relocated from West Orange earlier this year and eventually made his way back. You can always make your way back. According to West Orange Media, the town's mayor pardoned Turkels, who was not euthanized before he was relocated to an undisclosed location. Rumor has it he's still a citizen of the Garden State. I'm so sorry, Turkels. I mean, man, I don't know. Shoot, I don't know. There's probably a couple other worse states out there, but New Jersey? Well, anyways. It's very sad. He's given the community near and far a reason to come together to hear of his adventures and determination. Where is all that for beer? What it says. One resident, who was only named, only as Susan, told the Guardian, but he's gangster. He'll make his way back. He always does. That sounds very, very threatening. If Bear was a law enforcement official out there, I'd be very, very leery of Turkels on the revenge. I mean, they tried to take him down with the trank dart, but they couldn't take him. It's like the Terminator of turkeys out here. So there he is, taking trank darts left and right, still coming after. So give him hell, Turkels. Give him hell out there. Let's see. Amy says, "Oh, that was sweet of you, Bear." Oh, sure. That's fine. It was a good piece. Saw it and I was like, "Oh, gosh darn it, Bear's got plenty of Weldon art." In fact, hold on. Do I have? Let me see here. Pardon me, people. Pardon me here. Let's see if we can bring this up. Ah, there we go. There is some Weldon art right there. Some beautiful. Oh gosh, I meant to look and see if Mike was going to sell his. This is hopscotch. So if you saw it last night, Eric Ninaltowski got a campaign called. Gosh darn it, Bear, come on, man. Anyways, the character's name out there was hopscotch. So very cool indeed. Let's see, what else do we have? Hold on, this is just going to be a trip down memory lane here for Bear. Did I have the? Hold on, I'm trying to see if I had the chat in here. I did not. I apologize, people. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Here's a nice one. Bear actually has this hung up in the cave. Good fan of Calvin and Hobbes, so some good stuff. good stuff out. I think I also got the print as well. So I think one was colored and one was still in the black and white here. So there's that. Let's see, what else did he have? I'm trying to remember which one this was. I don't recall. I don't recall which series that. It might be Street Fighter. Maybe Street. I don't recall. Amy says, I do remember Mike having a hopscotch drawing. Yeah, I know, he did. I just didn't know if he, oh, it didn't come up again. Yeah, I didn't think it did. So there you go. That is an excellent, I'll go back to it. There we go. Calvin and Hobbes. Pretty cool. Let me see if I had anything else. Oh, okay. We'll talk about this in just a little bit here, but, Leah out here. Very cool. Let's see, did I have any other Weldon art? Was this it? Hold on, let me see if this one. I can't remember if this was Weldon or not. No, Mike Miller. Let's see. I think these are all Mike Miller stuff. It's been a while since I've been in here. That's some lovely stuff from Eden as well. I hope she got some stuff sold last night. Had to check out a little bit early. They were talking about crypto and crypto news, and it's like, for crying out loud. So there you go. There you are. Let's see. Yeah, I thought I had another Weldon one in here. I guess not. Let's see. There's Kyung Lee. So there you go. That will go with the Clausen one that hopefully Bear will get here. Hopefully pretty shortly. Old Weldon, you never know. Or Clausen, you never know sometimes. Sorry, I get my mats confused. So, anywho, Anywho, there is that. Let's see. You can message Mike about it. I think he said he was doing the Black Friday deal for the weekend for people who came in late or wanted a specific piece. Oh, okay. Is he gonna do another show? Or just contact him. I guess could just contact him. All right, we'll see. Um, I don't want to get too far into it. I try not to make it a big hullabaloo. Hopefully, well, one thing, Mike wasn't shipping out stuff for the longest time, so I didn't even know if Bear contacted him, but, I had some art that Bear was waiting quite a while on, so hopefully, let me check my email, 1 second here. Nope, I don't see anything there, but, anyways, said he would get back to me, so hopefully that will turn out. Hopefully that'll turn out here. I'll let you people know. It's a nice piece from Mike. Let's see, what was it? It was, oh gosh, I gotta look it up here. 1 second here. For Resident Evil. So, there you go. I thought it was a nice piece. It was a nice piece there. So, there we go. We'll see. We will see. Might have a nice little box open coming up. Might be a box open coming up. I don't think there's another show planned, but I can't be 100% sure on everything. Nobody can, Amy. Nobody can be 100% sure on everything. Or anything. Out here. Yes, indeed. Alright, anyways, there is your turkey news for the day. Good old, let's see, New York Post, I think I did this, Brooke Cato out here. We always try to give credit where credit's due. You know, a lot of places they just go and say, oh, here's the story, blah, 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 blah. Hey, man. You're taking it from somewhere. Give credit where credit is due. Anyways, good to have Amy and Melissa here as well. Good stuff. Alright, moving on, people. I know everybody is on tenterhooks. I think that was the last thing that they had there. Of what is going on with this weekend's box office. Let's go ahead and jump right on into it. There is some surprises, people. Holy cow, is there some surprises out here. From Deadline and oh gosh, does it not say? 1 second here, people. Let's see. The great Anthony D'Alessandro out here. Songbirds and Snakes, that's the new Hunger Games. Why would you release a movie titled Hunger Games during the Thanksgiving weekend? What's up with that, man? What's up with that? Anyways, reigning supreme over the Thanksgiving stretch with a $41 million. Pardon me here, people. $41 million. Now, this is where they get you. You're like, $41 million, that's great. Oh, wow. Over 5 days. Usually they do it 3 days. We'll talk about this in just a minute. But see, they tried to get the headline out there. Like, oh, wow, that's a big deal. Yeah, it's over 5 days, not 3 days. Wish and Napoleon in tight race for second. Did you ever think that a Disney animated kids movie would be neck and neck with a Napoleon movie from Joaquin Phoenix? Is it Joaquin? No. What's his name? Gosh darn it. Anyways, one of the Phoenixes out there. Anyways, we will, let's just jump right on into it. We don't need to get all of their blah, 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 blah stuff. We can read Deadline. We know what's going on. But if you can't read, that's what you got Bear here for. So anyways, The Hunger Games, A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. That is a long title. Lionsgate out here. 3,776 theaters here. So here's how they break it down. Friday made $11 million. Pretty good. I think it says week 2. I think it came out. Did it come out last week? Yeah, we were talking about last week. So it came out last week. Actually went up from last Friday. So very interesting. The 3-day, it was down. So 27 million. Not bad at all. And here's where they get you. So you're thinking, oh cow, look at that headline. It's $41 million. Now, these are estimates. They're not actual numbers that have come in just yet. But the 3-day, where they normally, so it's usually a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday. Sometimes on rare occasions they might do a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but usually the traditional is the weekend. Usually it opens up. Sometimes it opens up late Thursday night. It usually opens up Friday. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday usually are the big 3 days. And of course, we always say, hey, wait till the second week. Let's see where it goes in the second week there. They're doing not bad. Only down almost 40%, which isn't... It's not bad. It's not bad at all here. But they trick you. They trick you here. They say, oh, it's $41 million. No, it's actually 27, let's just call it $28 million for the 3-day. Not a bad haul in there, but man, oh man, if you read through all the blah, 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 blah here, it's like, oh, the Hunger Games, this is the greatest thing ever. Oh, my heart, oh. They had the Friday Night at Freddy's, which came in, I think in the second or third week, about the same there, and they says, hey, what a terrible movie. That's the doldrums. Nobody wants to go see movies. Blah, 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 blah. Actors strike. Nobody can't put butts in the seats. Yada, yada, yada. So you get kind of two different takes there from our good folks at Deadline here. But anyways, I just wanted to let people know 3-day and 5-day. So I think they took it, Wednesday. So let's see, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, so there you go. For a total of 97.3. I think the budget was like $120 million. So for tentpole pictures, not bad. They'll probably make their money up and then some there. Good to see P Money. Hello all, working the hockey game tonight, but I am around to listen. Well, Bear was listening last night for the auction while watching the Bolts just completely sweep the old Hurricanes out there. Completely sweep. Old Point got a hat trick. Oh, it was happy days for Bear. Happy days for Bear. What was it? 8-2. 8-2, Peabody. 8-2. That's a hockey score. Holy cow. Holy mega. And they didn't even pull the goalie either. Those were all legit goals. Oh, man. That guy was leaky like a sieve. All right, enough of that sports ball. Anyways, Napoleon so they're splitting this. They should just say Apple instead of app, but Apple and Sony, they're kind of splitting it. I think it's like 2.5, 2.75 hours in the theaters, and then they're going to re-release it onto Apple TV Plus. I think it's like a 4 or 5 hour movie or something like that. Something crazy out there. Slightly less theaters, so 37 to 35 here. Not bad. $8.4 million on Friday. 3-day, $20 million. So, for a historical epic, is it Jacqueline Phoenix? What was his name? Gosh dang it, I can't remember his name right off the top of my head. Anyways, not bad out there. And then, of course, they do the 5-day out there. Oh, look at there, it's $33 million. No, actually, that's over 5 days, and that's an estimate. But not bad. $20 million. Number 3. Number 3, Wish from Disney, which is supposed to be the big tentpole picture for Disney and the kids out here. They were going to try and do a clean sweep here, people. Far from it out here. Far from it. Napoleon Dynamite would be a better double feature with a kids movie. That's true. Let's see. Let's see. Nuts, I read Napoleon and thought we were talking about the greatest movie ever. Napoleon Dynamite? Are you sure? I'm not so sure. Hi, Amy. Say hi to the hundreds of people that listen to me announce the game. There you go. Hi, everybody. Coming to you from, the best country in the world. That would be the United States. And a talking bear. There you go. I don't know how many talking bears are up there in Canada, but, this is YouTube's #1 show by a bear coming at you live right here on YouTube. Amen. Amen, indeed. Hi, hundreds of people. Be safe and happy. Well, there you go. That as well. That as well. Yes, indeed. Congrats on the fun hockey game. I hope your hockey game goes really well tonight, P-Money. I hope it does too. So look at here, people. Look at here. let's see, that would be 134, right? If I got that right. 134 more theaters than Hunger Games, and let's see, 400 more than Napoleon. That would be Wish here. They're saying, oh, they're neck and neck. Well, they have several hundred more theaters that they are coming from, and Napoleon actually edged them out just a little bit. 3-day, $20 million compared to 20.8. 5-day, 32 compared to 32.9. So, yeah, several hundred theaters less, and they're actually coming in pretty close, neck to neck there. Wish is the kind of the new Disney. They're promoting it very heavily as far as kind of like the 100th anniversary for Disney. So, they've been planning this for a while. Put it out there. Complete bomb. It comes in number 3 in its first week. And boy, oh boy, we're going to talk about the other Disney movie here in just a second. Trolls Band Together in slightly less theaters than Wish. Week, it doesn't say here. I don't know, people. It might be the first week. I can't really tell here. I would say these were the neck and neck movies because they probably go for the same audience out there. So not bad at all. Not bad at all. Thanksgiving, which you think, oh wow, I'm gonna go see a movie called Thanksgiving. Yay! Eli Roth. It is a horror movie. People getting killed left and right. There you go. You got your horror movie there. 3,200 theaters. Doing not bad there. 7 million. 3-day, 5-day, $10 million. Not bad for a horror movie during the holidays. Kind of interesting. And then we get to the really interesting part here. Really interesting part. The Marvels. 4,030 theaters. That is more than Thanksgiving. That is more than Trolls. That is even more than Wish. More than Napoleon. More than the Hunger Games. Came in with $6 million over 3 days. 5-day, $8.8 million. Their third week, $76 million. That is terrible. If there are not heads rolling on Monday, sell all of your Disney stock. Sell it all. It is going down. Holy cow. People, you just don't understand. This is... we were talking about it, what was it, the last show? Worst bombs of all history. They came out with the Heaven's Gate movie and they had to get rid of literally everybody at the studio that was involved in that. They completely fired everybody. Bob Iger just needs to retire for a second time here. The Marvels, week 3, $76 million. It probably cost at least $200 million. I know, it's hard to believe, but at least $200 million, probably another $100 million in advertising. They couldn't even make up the advertising budget. That's how bad this is. And look how many theaters it's in. I mean, imagine if it got pushed down. Let's see. All of these are week 1 or week 2. Week 2, Hunger Games. Week 1, week 2, Thanksgiving. They should be, if they were doing this bad, normal times, they would be pulling from theaters because obviously the theater owners, they split the profits. They split the revenue out there. So the theater owners, let's just pick a day here. What was it? Friday, $2.4 million. Just call it 2.5. So you're really talking about $1.2 million there for the theaters. All 4,030 theaters on Friday. They made $1 million, a little over $1 million off of Marvels. That's not good at all. If you were a theater owner, they're probably contractually obligated here. If you were any normal, sane theater owner out there, you would be getting rid of the Marvels and putting it off into the little small, if you're at the multiplex, they got the big, huge screens, and then they got the little art house, it fits like 5 people in there. That's where the Marvels would be. That's where the Marvels would be, in the art house theater section with 5, fits 5 people, and they'd have like 4.5 empty seats. That's terrible. This is terrible, people. Awful. The Holdovers, I think it's an independent film if Bear remembers correctly. What would that be? A quarter of the theaters? A quarter of the theaters, and it made about half of what the Marvels did on Friday. Let's see, we'll just call it 3 million over 3 days, so that's roughly half the Marvels. 5 day, 3.75, let's just call it 4. So, not quite, and again, they're estimating. I bet you they're bloating that number. I bet you they're bloating the $8.8 million, because Saturday night, I believe this was the morning, so Saturday night and Sunday have not come in just yet, so they're guesstimating here. I bet you this is going to be revised down, so man, oh man, when you are when your tentpole Marvel film is neck and neck with, a very independent film that not too many people are going to go see or check out, that has a quarter of the theaters showing it, and you're barely beating it, man, oh man, that is terrible. Put it in the cozy theater. Put it in the cozy theater. Now, we were talking about the Taylor Swift thing. She was the only thing holding up theaters for like a couple weeks there. That was the only thing going in there was Taylor Swift. I think that's the only reason she's dating the football player out there. Just keep it in the headlines. Saltburn, I don't know anything about this movie, so I can't really tell you much about. Next Goal Wins, Takiti Matiti, whatever the hell. Doesn't look like it's doing pretty well. Doesn't look like it's doing well at all. I think people are catching on to the old Takiti Watiti, whatever the heck, situation out there, and say, this guy, he's got a couple marbles loose in the head there. And of course, people bringing up the pack, but gone but not forgotten out here. Number 11, 5 nights. It lost 1,000 theaters. Well over 1,000 theaters. So it's got, let's see, 1,700 compared to 4,000. So let's just call it 2,000 to 4,000. So half the amount of theaters. And then it lost 1,000 on top of that. 640,000. So hey, look, I mean, it's been out there for 5 weeks. If you wanted to go see it, you're gonna go see it. Also, it's in, I forget, one of the streaming services out there. So you can go watch it streaming. You don't even have to go to the theater out there. It made almost a little bit more than half of what. Pardon me. A little. Let's see, 2.4. Wait, where am I here? Yeah, 2.4 here. So, I mean, not bad. 3-day 1.7 and 5-day 2.5. So, compared to the Marvels, and again, they're guesstimating here, not bad. Not bad for essentially a movie that was poo-pooed all around town. It's in its 5th week. It's on a streaming service as well, and they're doing not bad. They're hanging in there. They are hanging in there, people. So, congratulations, 5 nights. The Marvels, man oh man. I mean, I can see where people out there now are just, they've kind of put that off to the side and they're not even talking, they talked about it maybe the first week or maybe even the second week. Oh, look how bad Marvels is. We've been on this, like, white on rice out here, people. We've been talking about this for probably a month or two. Hey, Bear was one of the first. Hey, this will make probably $40 to $50 billion in the first weekend. Yeah, that's what it did. 46, I think it was. So we've been pretty right on here with old Bear's channel here. Yes, indeed. So there you go, people. There you go. All right, get ready, people. P-Money, your whole hockey situation there, they might come to a screeching halt. This may be, people, a very, very, very hot take, but you know what? Bear's going to do it anyways. He's going to do it anyways because I just happened to see it. Now, okay, this is probably going to cost Bear his Comics Gate cred out here, but we're going to go through it anyways. Bear happened to catch a little tiny movie the other night on the streaming services out, or not, it was on cable, I think, or something like that. I just had it in the background. The people, gosh, how many bottles of ink have been spilled on this movie here? We're going to talk just a tiny little bit about the Star Wars The Last Jedi. Yes, I know, people. I know. There's probably really not much more left to be said out there, but, you haven't heard the final take until you heard Bear's take out here. So they had it on in the background, yada, yada, yada. Caught, like, the tail end of the movie. Let's see, they were in, like, the casino, I guess, like a casino planet or something. The Kelly Marie Tran character and John Boyega, they were there and they had the like space horses. I think they were space horses because they run around a track and then they go into the casino and yada yada yada. So I don't know how far along in the movie that was, but I caught a good segment of the, I guess, end of the movie there, kind of coming back and forth, half watching it, second screen and all that sort of stuff. So paying attention here and there, but let me just lay it out here. Bear, Star Trek fan, yay! Star Wars fan, not so much. I mean, the first movie was really good. The rest of them, hey, they're fine. If you enjoy them, great. If not, whatever. I mean, the prequels, they were what they were. If you were growing up at that time, that was your Star Wars. And if you're growing up earlier in the 70s and 80s, the previous movies were your movies out there. And of course, they got the new one here as well. So, Bear, here is Bear's opinion on the entire movie. Well, not the entire movie. Half of the movie that he saw, or maybe the quarter, however much time was left there. Watching, like, let's see, Doomcock or Uncle E or, Nerdrotic or some of the other channels out there that just, lambasted the movie just, completely. Just, oh, this is the worst thing ever. Destroyed my childhood. Worst Star Wars movie ever. Yada, yada, yada. Bear was going into it thinking, man, this is going to be a complete, terrible, just awful movie. I wanted to see just the awfulness of it. It was okay. It was alright. I don't come from this as a Star Wars fan, so I can't really say, best or worst Star Wars. It doesn't really matter to Bear. I didn't even see the entire movie. That was Bear's first takeaway. It wasn't the worst movie he ever saw. There were problems. There were definite problems out there. Probably the biggest takeaway for Bear was splitting up of the new characters, that main cast. So the Daisy Ridley, Ray, Finn, right? Finn, that was Oscar Isaac. He did a really good job. I thought he was probably the best actor in that movie. I thought he did a really good job with the material that he was given. And John Boyega. I don't think that they should have split those characters up. Bear's knowledge of the first part of the movie just comes from people talking about the movie, so I can't say for certain, but they go to the planet where Luke is on, and it's just Rey there while the other characters are off doing all other side adventures there. I thought they should have kept all of those characters together, especially since they essentially got rid of all of the old, Luke and Leia and Han, got rid of all of those characters. So they got rid of them. I thought that they should have had all the new main trio of characters. I thought they should have kept them together. The pacing was what Bear was just really. They would cut to this storyline, and they would cut back to Rey on the island, whatever Jedi island it was out there, and then they would cut to John Boyega out there at the casino planet. Oh, and Benicio del Toro. He actually did a pretty good job as well. I thought that was pretty funny. Although I don't think he came back for the third movie, so it was kind of a waste. But they kept cutting back and forth, which really, unless you know what you're doing with cross-cutting out there, really cut the tension. It cut a lot of the action. It was just a very oddly paced thing. So I think that they should have just kept those characters together in the first place. The other thing I thought, let me just show it here. The best scene in the entire movie, as far as Bear was concerned, was the pardon me, people. Gotta get rid of the chat here. Amy says that's a healthy outlook. Well, thank you. If you enjoyed them, great. If not, whatever. That is Bear's opinion. Bear's opinion out here. I'm not going for the clicks or the likes or anything like that. If you don't like Bear's opinion here, then hit the thumbs down button. I thought this was the best scene in the entire movie, especially the elevator ride up where Ray and Adam Driver also did a really good job. I thought he was really good in the movie. The elevator ride up, that sort of tension, then the doors open, you see what was going on in the, I don't know what this was, the throne room, I don't know. And then everything was red. I thought it was kind of interesting that they had kind of the red sort of theme throughout the movie, especially later on. We'll talk about that in just a second, but I thought this was the best scene of it because there was a lot of tension in there. Of course, the good fighting, of course you gotta have a good fight scene in a Star Wars film. I thought that was probably one of the better fight scenes that Bear had seen in a while in a Star Wars film. That I thought all was really good. And then they had a really good sort of coda at the end there of the scene where it was like, sorry people, spoiler alerts for a, I don't know, 6-8-year-old movie, however long it's been. So at the end, they kill the main bad, what was his name, Smoke? Something like that. Killed him. He was like, okay, my apprentice, you're gonna go with me to the Adam Driver character, and he's like, nope, slices him in half with the lightsaber there. I thought that was a very interesting, cool way to get everything started, and of course, Ray and, what was his name? Kylo Ren. I thought their sort of fight, where they were back to back and fighting off the red guards here. Why they were in red, I have no idea, but whatever. I thought that was really cool. And then at the end, here's Bear's opinion here. Here's Bear's opinion. Could be wrong. Legendary, it was only one. It was like a first draft of old Roundhead out there. Rian Johnson. He came up with the story, which Rian Johnson's actually a good writer. I would say he's a good writer, better than the director. I don't think it was serviceable. It was fine. I actually kind of preferred this to the look of the. I just caught a very quick thing of the third movie there. They're playing them back to back. Of J.J. Abrams. I thought it was very kind of like saccharine sweet, where this one was a little bit more of an adult type movie. I thought that was kind of interesting. So it had kind of that a little bit more of an adult look to it. But I thought it was really interesting at the very end, where he was like, okay, Kylo Ren was like, okay, Rey, I've killed the Emperor. I forget the exact quoting of the line here, but it was, okay, we're gonna get rid of the Empire, we're gonna get rid of the rebels, and we're gonna basically rule the galaxy together, you and I. I thought that was really interesting, and kind of, if Bear's opinion here, I bet you that was the twist that Rian Johnson was going to go for. And if that would have been a really interesting and unique take on the whole Star Wars situation, where you had, what was it, the 3 prequels, the 3 after, so 7 movies. You had 7 movies up to that point where it was essentially the same, hero's journey, Skywalker saga sort of situation there. It would have been really neat if they would have just twisted that and said, okay, well, maybe not even that, just have it, okay, come with me, Rey, and we'll rule the galaxy together. Cut to black. In the scene right there, in the movie right there, leave it on a cliffhanger, and maybe they do, maybe they upend everything and you actually get an entirely new, completely different Star Wars movie out there. I think Disney went in and said, hey, we bought this for several $billions. We want a Star Wars movie like all the other Star Wars movies. So that's where you got the rest of the movie, which was, eh. I mean, lady flying the freaking thing into the other starship, which listen, that was stupid. I mean, I can't, many stupid things about the whole movie. I'm trying to be objective here, but I really thought that if Rian Johnson went up to that point, I think he stepped back. I think he stepped away from his twist that he was going to put in there with both of them coming to power together and trying to rule the galaxy. Maybe one had one vision, one had the other vision of how to do things, and that's where that natural conflict would come from. Instead, it was just rote bad guy. I'm mustache twirling bad guy. Kill the good guys. Rah. It devolved from there. So I think the sort of throne room scene was probably the best of the movie. If I guess I haven't seen the first part of it, but I thought that was the best part. And if he had actually stuck to his guns, I would have had a lot more respect for old Roundhead out there. I think they tried to go up to that point, was kicked back by Caffeine Kennedy, and okay, we need to do the just traditional Star Wars movie, yada yada yada, Force is female, blah 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 blah. We see where all that went. Yay. So anyways, that is Bear's kind of long and short review of half of the movie of Star Wars The Last Jedi. The other part, the part on the planet, I think that what they should have done was, instead of having the whole chase them through the space scene, I thought that the mining planet or whatever that they were on, I thought that they should have just had that and fought back and forth through the entire movie rather than some sort of silly chase and I don't know, whatever. And have them kind of come to their rescue or something to that effect. It was kind of interesting where they had the sort of white, I guess, salt on the top there, and the red sort of crust underneath. I thought that was an interesting dynamic there. I thought the sort of digging of the trenches and fighting, World War I style, interesting, really interesting. But yeah, of course, fell apart in the end there. So there you go. There is Bear's opinion out here for The Last Jedi. I don't really care to go watch the rest of the movie. I'm sure it's as good or as bad as people say, but as far as Bear's listing of terrible movies, it's not like at the top of terrible. It's still the Batman. Bear was going in expecting, oh wow, this is going to be really bad. The Last Jedi is going to be even worse than the Batman. No, the Batman's still number one out there. Terrible, awful movie. Like you said, you can actually see what's going on in this scene, compared to the Batman, which muddy as hell. You couldn't see anything. So there you go. There is the sort of kind of review for Bear for the last. What was it called? Last Jedi. The Last Jedi. Let's see, Amy says that would have been an interesting twist. Someone rules the worlds when the movies end. Or just leave it on a cliffhanger and figure out what you're going to do, in the next movie. They had the sort of vision. They were going to do J.J. Abrams, he did the first movie. Roundhead was going to do the second movie, and what was his name? Trevor Noah? The guy that did the the recent Jurassic Park movies. He ended up directing a movie, I think right after this movie here, in between, right before when he was going to supposedly was going to direct his movie, talking about, like, what was it, a kid that kills people or something like that, and he's like, no, hell no, we're not going to put this guy on a Star Wars movie. So J.J. Abrams came back, and I think, what was it? They brought back the Emperor or something like that, and nobody ever dies, and I don't know, whatever. And it was just very. I like some things that J.J. Abrams does. I like the scene in that movie with they were gonna go try and find what was it? Kerry Russell's character. I forget her name. She was kind of like a hacker or something like that. I thought around that planet where they were being hunted by the are they still called stormtroopers? I don't even know. Whatever. The stormtrooper-esque bad guys out there. I thought that was kind of a neat scene, but it was just like a scene here or a scene there that was like, oh, that's interesting. The movie, it was just very, I say saccharine sweet. It's a very more kid movie than The Last Jedi, which was a little bit more kind of adult focused. So, anyways, there is Bear's Opinion, the old Star Wars movie. My eyes, says P. Money. I'm sorry, sir. I look back at my phone after announcing and I see the Last Jedi poster. Bear, you ruined everything. I hope you didn't yell out my eyes into the announcement. That would have been funny. Oh my god, my eyes, the Last Jedi. Goal! Ah! Anyways, there is all that for you people. I know people are on pins and needles saying, what does Bear think of The Last Jedi? Like, I mean, if it was generic soap opera, sci-fi fantasy movie from Rian Johnson, it would have done fine. I say fine. I think it was just kind of average, I guess. I think when you have Star Wars up there and the stuff that he did, of course, Luke and all that others, the sort of burning of the Jedi, what was it, the Jedi tree or the Jedi temple or whatever? Again, I mean, he was shooting for 1,000 out there, just came up a little bit short. I think his idea, very anarcho-communist, was just, sort of burn it all down and come up with something new. I think if he would have stuck to his guns, that would have been an interesting twist and interesting way to go for the next movie. I think everybody just took a look at that and says, there's no way that we can work with this. Go back to the original stuff and just remake, Return of the Jedi or whatever. So there you are, people. There is Bear's opinion of all that. Which, by the way, before we get into this next story, one of the reasons I don't want to be too critical of it. Gosh dang it! What the heck? Hold on, people. One of the reasons that Bear doesn't want to be too critical of it is any movie, even the Batman, Bear's got to give credit. It was a movie that was put together and put out into theaters that people went to go watch and see. I know that's not a high bar for very many people out there, but it is an accomplishment. Movie making is hard. Bringing stuff together, different people, different factions, different, you've got a number of different crafts out there that you've got to bring together, and then trying to bring it together into a cohesive vision. That's tough. That ain't easy. That's why they pay these directors sometimes the big bucks, because that's a little hard to do. So case in point here, people. Case in point. From the New York Times. This is interesting. Beer's never heard this before. Kind of a very interesting thing here. By the way, look at this. This literally is not filmmaking. Let's shoot in something in front of a green screen. Yawn. Oh, God. The Garth Edwards movie. What was the name of it? I think The Creator or something to that effect. He says, enough of the green screen stuff. Let's do it all in camera, and then we'll add in the effects later. And he did a really good job with that. This is the complete opposite. Anyways, the New York Times, John Carreyrou, the strange $55 million saga of a Netflix series you'll never see. $55 million flushed down the toilet. After suitors flocked to sci-fi project by Carl Reinisch. Don't worry if you've never heard of him before. A director of a single movie, Uno movie. The winner handed over money and control. They're still fighting. they're still fighting. John Carreyrou, whatever. It's the New York Times. Anyways. He says, near the height of the streaming boom in the fall of 2018, a half dozen studios and video platforms lined up to woo a little-known filmmaker named Carl Eric Reinisch. He had directed one and only movie. That would be 47 Ronin. I think Keanu Reeves. It was a commercial and critical dud, and Mr. Reinisch's tussles with the producers had raised eyebrows, even in an industry where such conflicts are the norm. I'll see if I have any eye drops for P-Money. Poor P-Money. We'll put it on something a little bit more palatable. But memories in Hollywood are short, and the demand for new content was intense. In just a decade, the number of scripted TV shows had soared up from 200 to more than 500, rather. With new streaming services from Disney, Apple, and NBC Universal on the way, amid the feeding frenzy, the project that Mr. Reinisch was pitching, a sci-fi fiction about artificial humans, became a hot property. Let me grab a drink. Anyway, after a competitive auction, I'm just gonna say the director. I can't pronounce his Rinsich, whatever. The director. The director and his representatives reached an informal 8-figure agreement with Amazon, but before they had a chance to put it into writing, Netflix swooped in. Cindy Holland, the company's vice president, at the time, called the director at home on a Sunday and dangled millions of dollars more, as well as something studios rarely give directors. Applause. Oh, wait, no, final cut. Netflix won the deal and would soon come to regret it. The project, with the director, has turned into a costly fiasco, a macrocosm of the era of profligate spending that Hollywood studios now are scrambling to end. Netflix burned more than $55 million. That's a lot of Thanksgiving meals out there for needy people. On the director's show and gave him near total budgetary and creative latitude, but never received a single finished episode. It gets better. Oh, it gets better. Soon after he signed the contract, the director's behavior grew erratic. According to members of the show's cast and crew, text and email reviews by the New York Times, and a court filing in a divorce case brought by his wife, who tried to have him assassinated, by the way, he claimed to have discovered Wu-Flu secret transmissions and to be able to predict lightning strikes. He also gambled a large chunk of the money from Netflix on the stock market, and wait for it, oh, cryptocurrencies, people. He spent millions of dollars on a fleet of Rolls Royces, furniture, and designer clothing. The director and Netflix are now locked into a confidential arbitration proceeding initiated by the director, who claims the company breached their contract and owes him $14 million more. Netflix has denied owing the director anything and has called his demands a shakedown. What? It's not uncommon for Hollywood producers to run into trouble, but a debacle of this magnitude is rare, and has surfaced at an inopportune moment with Hollywood under pressure from investors to cut back on lavish. Good luck with that. This is Hollywood you're talking about. Lavish spending is the only thing holding that place up. And to focus on making profits rather than adding streaming subscribers at any cost. That squeeze is only expected to intensify. Hollywood studios' recent agreements to pay writers and actors more are likely to further pinch profits. No, they're not. They're just going to raise the rates. Come on, man. They ain't gonna have anything to cut into that cocaine money. That's for sure. The director declined to respond to a detailed list of questions. In the recent Instagram post, he said he did not cooperate with the Times because he expected the article to be inaccurate. Well, that's probably the first accurate thing he says. He predicted that it would discuss the fact that I somehow lost my mind. Spoiler alert, I did not. The narrator comes in and he says, yes, he did. Thomas Achirin, a spokesman for Netflix, said the company had provided substantial funding and other support to the director's series, but, quote, after a lot of time and effort, it became clear that the director was never going to complete the project he agreed to make, and so we wrote the project off for $55 million, plus another 14 possibly. So almost $70 million, possibly. $70 million right there, people. Not going to ever see a single frame of it. Not a single frame. So, again, Bear tries not to be too critical of movies out there because, you could run into stuff like this, which is just a complete, or like the Batgirl movie, where it's like, okay, we completed everything. It's terrible. We're going to burn the negatives. So there you go. I thought this was just a great story that had it all. Assassinations, cryptocurrency, Woo Flu, Netflix, all that sort of stuff. Oh man, what a great combination. It couldn't have happened to a better company out there for sure. Good old Netflix. And they're cuties. They're freaking cuties. Let's see. Amy says he should have been able to make a few episodes of a show for $55 million. Well, the link is, it's a really long article. I didn't go through even a quarter of it. I'll let you go through it. 5 Rolls Royces and a Ferrari. That's what he spent it on. Actually, he made. Let me do this one here. I thought this was the best part. The director had begun using what remained of the $11 million that Netflix had wired his production company to place bets on crypto during 2021. Good job. He transferred more than $4 million from his Schwab account to an account on the Kraken exchange. And he could have bought anything, people, but he bought Dogecoin. But unlike his stock market investments, this one finally paid off. When he liquidated his Dogecoin positions in May 2021, he had a balance of nearly $27 million. He says, thank you and God bless crypto. Yay. So then he went and bought. Usually people, listen, what would you say? If you had millions and millions of dollars, where would your upper limit on Rolls Royces be? 2? 3? Sure, you're not even driving, right? You're going to be chauffeured around, right? So, how many different Rolls Royces? He bought 5, people. 5. Plus a Ferrari. Plus a watch, worth $387,000. Plus furniture. All that stuff. $8.7 million. So he burned through quite a bit of that, unfortunately. So there you go. Anyways, long article here. Very interesting. Never heard of, what was it called? Control? What was it called? Pardon me, people. Gosh, I can't remember what the name of it was. Anyways, I'm not trying to scroll through there, but anyways, there you are. $55 million plus a little bit more. And this is what you get. Green screen. Oh boy. He went around the world filming this, like Budapest and in Africa and all these other places. Why? You've got green screens. Why are you even leaving Los Angeles? What the heck, man? Especially during the Woo. It's emanating from the earth, he says. Okay. All right. Sure thing, pal. Sure thing. So, anyways, there is that. There's kind of a interesting take on the other side of what's craziness that's going on out there. Speaking of craziness, let's go back to Deadline here. We were talking a little bit about the actors' strike and, of course, AI. They're trying trying to put a whole bunch of dead actors or just alive actors into movies that they're not going to have to. They'll pay like minimum fees for and reap the benefits. So we'll get into that here. Let me take a drink. Let's see. Amy says, money to cover production costs goes to production on the show. Amy, it's nice that you think that. It's nice that he doubled his money, but investing is not what the money was for. I mean, at least 5 to 10 million was for cocaine out there. It's got to be. I mean, that's a line item budget in most movie productions out there. Bear kids for crying out loud. Yeah, apparently and he did. He made his money back, but he should give that money back to Netflix. Instead, he says, "No, I'm going to take $14 million more." The cojones. I guess when you have 5 Rolls Royces, you got to have some pretty big cojones out there. Maybe that's why he needed the other cars. You're sitting in one car and your cojones are in the other car out there. Anyways, deadline again. Consent is surrender, says Matthew Modine, noted communist in Beer's opinion. Will vote against the guild deal. So he's voted. He already did. He voted against the deal with the studios out there. He says again, a full agreement to be released today. No, wait, yesterday. Beer's losing track of time out here. Matthew Modine voted against the SAG tentative agreement with the studios once, and he's darn sure to vote against it again, he says. Pardon me. Consent in the context of this agreement is tyranny, he says. And he's a board member as well, so it's not just like some Yahoo actor out there. He's actually a board member. Anyways, if ratified, the SAG members who consent to be digitally exploited in ways that are not clearly defined and are currently beyond our individual abilities to control, he exclaimed, the U.S. government, with all its resources, doesn't know how to create AI guardrails to provide protections for its citizens. The U.S. government lost billions and billions of dollars on the post office. So, I don't all those resources. Oh, yeah, we're using it really well. They were trillions of dollars in debt, by the way. SAG certainly doesn't have the financial resources or technology to navigate the AI tsunami crashing upon the shores, of the entertainment industry. Wow. A little boastful, aren't you? With eligible members of the 16,000-strong guild currently voting to ratify the deal, yeah, again, it's not a done deal. They say, oh, the strike's over. They reached an agreement, and a lot of people got to go back to work, but they haven't agreed to they haven't agreed to the agreement. I was trying to figure out where I was going to go with that. They haven't finalized the agreement, I should say. Let's see, on November 8th, after its 118-day strike that shut Hollywood down, a growing chorus of dissent against the agreement has emerged. In fact, it was evident when the Guild Board met on November 10th that not everyone was marching in the same direction. The hybrid meeting went much longer than anticipated and eventually saw 9 members of the board, including Modine, vote against the deal. That translated into a total approval. They still have an approval of 86%. Not bad. But not the full amount that they wanted to take to the general membership for ratifications. That's far from the unanimity that was clearly desired by President Fiendish and the National Executive Director. Presently, with the ratification vote starting on November 14th and running to early December, so they still got some time to figure this out. SAG has only released bullet points and then an 18-page summary of the deal, not the full 128-page memorandum of the agreement. I don't think all of the actors are out there going to be reading all that sort of stuff. It's probably their agents that are going to be doing that because they're getting their 10 or 15 or 20% out of it. In a posting on social media Wednesday, the recently overwhelmingly re-elected Drescher promised the MOA would come out on November 24th, which I think it did. She says, it's the most lucrative, innovative, and protective contract in entertainment union history. The two-time failed guild president candidate, Modine. Oh, okay, so he tried to go for the presidency and he lost there. Whoops-a-doodle. Made clear himself on November 22nd, and Justine, by the way, we were talking about that, I think, a week ago or so. So if you haven't checked it out, go back out to that episode a little bit more kind of in-depth there. Has made clear for weeks not everyone sees the bitterly fought deal through such rose-colored glasses. In a November 13th information session with members, Drescher took a swipe at naysayers and low-level critics of the deal. Never mentioned by name, those critics include Bateman, who actually came out with a really reasoned, I don't always agree with her, but a very reasoned explanation of why she was voting against it. And she was there very early on. In fact, she was one of the negotiators that were just specifically for AI. And she says, okay, here's that deal. It's not going to protect the way that you think it is. So she herself is going to back out, and I'm going to advise other people to do the same. So here's Drescher saying, hey, all these people are terrible and all this stuff. And she's just like, no, this is the reason why I'm voting against it. Anyways, serves as an advisor, but she's made it obvious that she viewed them as naive when it came to the realities of the negotiation. Bateman, we did this interview, rejected that attitude, especially when it came to the so-called AI guardrails. I just think it's inhumane and cruel not to tell people what they're walking into, and not to tell people what the loopholes are, she says. If you've been in the business long enough, we'll be exploited. Man, that's like the first or second thing you do when you get to Hollywood. He's like, okay, I'm going to go get some Roscoe's Fried Chicken, and I'm going to go get exploited. Yay. This week, Modine took the stance that rejecting the deal on offer could only strengthen the guild's bargaining power with the studios. Quote, going back to the negotiating room and continuing to work on the issues surrounding AI and consent does not negate nor will it dismantle the benefits the contract now holds, he says. Going back to the negotiating room with a sincere effort to further protect members and to more accurately interpret the rules of consent and the uses of AI is the next necessary step we must take, he says. Justine Bateman kind of made the comparison of the Teamsters union out there. The Teamsters wouldn't agree to a contract that says that AI drivers were okay on studio productions because they would lose their jobs. That's part of what the Teamsters do. Some of them are drivers out there, so they would never agree to something like that. So why would the actors sort of agree to sort of the same thing? Her point was we needed a holistic approach, writers, directors, actors, union members, Teamsters and that sort of stuff. A holistic approach to say basically no. Her thoughts was studios were trying to pick apart each of the guilds out there, and if you could have a digital actor on set, okay, you can have a digital actor on set, you would, in the studio's mind, a good thing, reduce the amount of days. I think they made the example of Bradley Cooper. Okay, we want Bradley Cooper in our movie. We need to make sure that he can come out, X amount of days to do production and all this sort of stuff. Well, he might have other movies that he's doing, so they need to work that schedule out. Well, maybe they don't need to with the digital actor. Okay, well, you got the digital actor on set. Everything's great, right? We're fine. We're saving a little bit of money, yada, yada, yada. Okay, well, now you got the digital actor. Now you can have a digital set, like the green screen. So, okay, that gets rid of all your set people. You get rid of all your set people and all your, number of other stuff. Digital actor, there's not going to be any hair people. There's not going to be any makeup people. All this other stuff. You're not going to have, people driving people around. So even if the Teamsters Union had a really strong contract, the actors could undercut them and say, oh, well, we're going to put AI actors in there. So now the Teamsters don't have anybody to drive around. So they've already been negated by another guild out there. So very, very interesting. Very interesting. The SAG didn't respond to this Thanksgiving Day for request for comment on Modine's statement and POV rather, and seeking a new deal. And if they do, we will update. They haven't updated it. So there we go. And there's his statement in full if you wish to go check that out. So interesting times. Everybody's saying, oh, the actor strike, it's over, yada, yada, yada. Not just yet, people. There is some dissent out there, and again, they're going to come back in 3 years. So any of the stuff that they agree to now is going to be held against them in 3 years. So if they agree to this stuff and find out in a year and a half, hey, this isn't a good thing, we need to get rid of it, the studios are going to come back and, in 3 years' time and say, well, you guys agreed to this, 3 years ago. You guys thought it was a great deal, so we're gonna hold you to account on all this stuff. So interesting stuff. Let's see. They were going till I thought December. Yeah, early December. Doesn't say the date there, but we shall keep an eye out there, people. We'll keep an eye, see what's going on. There is still some stuff afoot out there. Stuff afoot in old Hollywood. All right. Do we go to this next story? Or do we save it for next time? I might save it for next time. We got a good hour in. I think we talked about a number, literally just Hollywood. Well, turkeys. Basically a Hollywood filled. Bear didn't have any campaign updates. There was one from, I don't know how many people are interested in Konami Waves. So if you want to check it out, Konami Waves, there's still time to pre-order. And where was this? I think it was on Fund My Comic. It doesn't tell him there. Anyways, Mark Polton, Mandy Summers, Renzo Rodriguez, and it's got a cover from Irenee. Out there. So if you're interested, let Bear know. I'll try to come back to that. But that was the only campaign update out there for you good people. So anywho, we will save the fun story for the next time here. Because we've got some great content in already, and I don't want to ruin it for you good people out here. Yes, indeed. All right, well, P Money, I hope your hockey game goes as good as Bears game went last night. Yes, indeed, that was some fun stuff out there. So, anyways, wanted to thank P Money, Amy, and Melissa as well. Pardon me. The leftovers trying to give Beer the old burps here. So, anyways, Amy, thank you for the email the other day. I'll check out I put it in the description. I put the Fund My Comic from Mike there in the description. Just not a big, listen, I don't know if I said this last time or not, or when we were talking about it, but Mike, good, I like him. John Del Rose, not a fan. Just not a fan, and we will leave it at that. But if people want to go check out the TopGrift comic, it's in the description down there. Go check it out, good people. Go check it out. All right, anyways, want to thank Amy and Melissa and P-Money, and of course, all of our Russian bots and lurkers out there. Remember, people, it is only 30 more days. 30 more shopping days until Christmas. Today's the first day. So you better get on it. You better get on it, el quico, people. Yes, indeed. All right, people. Well, even though Bear is a little stuffed here, he's got a little bit of hungriness left. So he's going to head back into the woods. So until next time, people, grrr.